Product targeting has recently become one of the most powerful and effective strategies you can employ on the Amazon platform, and I'm about to show you how to do it right, given all the new features Amazon has made available to sellers recently. Just for context, my name is Chris Rawlings. I'm one of the single top spenders of Amazon ads on the platform with over $3 million in monthly Amazon PPC ad spend. And product targeting is not new. It's been around for a very long time on the Amazon platform, but recently it started performing better and better, and it's become a core part of our strategy here at Sophie Society if you set it up the right way. And I'm going to share with you the strategies that we use to set up product targeting for maximum profit in this video. Product targeting means you're asking Amazon to show your ads on other products' listings rather than in search results. This can be your competitors' listings or your own other products' listings. And unlike keyword targeting, which is available only in sponsored products and sponsored brand ad types, product targeting is available. Why can't I say product targeting? It's like I'm drunk. I did just have a crazy workout. Product targeting is available in all three ad types: sponsored products, sponsored brands, and sponsored display. Meaning, once you achieve success with product targeting in one ad type, it becomes very easy to duplicate that success across other ad types, allowing you to do more of what works. Product placement ads also tend to have the cheapest cost per click, sometimes by far, meaning you can get a lot cheaper clicks from this ad type, although a lot of times those clicks are lower intent. So it's kind of a trade-off there. You'll find product targeting when you go to create your campaign, whether it's in sponsored products, sponsored brands, or sponsored display. When you scroll down, add the product that you're advertising, and in targeting, you select manual targeting and then click product targeting. Here, you can go to individual products, enter list, and then you can enter the ASINs of the products that you want to advertise on. Now, hypothetically, this means that your ad will show on those ASINs, but in reality, your ad is actually gonna still show both on different product listings and in search. And I'm gonna show you what that looks like in practice with a couple of real campaigns. Now, you're gonna notice two click boxes here: exact and expanded. So exact means that you're telling Amazon you want these ads to show up on exactly the ASINs that you input in this box here. Expanded means you're basically just giving Amazon some inspiration of the type of listings that you want your ad to show on, but you're giving it leeway to show it on other listings as well as it sees fit. Now, you guys have heard me talk about this before, but Amazon is in a state this year where it likes more leeway. So it's a good idea to test both expanded and exact targeting, even if you already know what ASINs you want to advertise on. Amazon might find some ASINs that you didn't find in your product targeting that still smack. So you're going to choose whether you're going to try exact or expanded, and then you're going to input the list of ASINs here. Now, how do you get the list of ASINs? Well, there's a few categories of ASINs that you want to try here. The number one is the top competitors ranking for your major keywords. This is a no-brainer. These are the ASINs that are getting the most traffic, and you're going to get the most clicks from these because they're the ones that are getting the most traffic to the listing. So your ads naturally are going to get the most traffic if you advertise on those listings. They also tend to be the most competitive. Sometimes they can perform really well, but sometimes there are other types of products to advertise on that perform even better. The next category is other ASINs that are either higher priced than yours or have lower ratings than yours, meaning that you have a better offer. To find out what ASINs fit this criteria, a good way to do it is test out category targeting. Select your own category, but click refine. And then you can set the rating, the maximum rating that you want to advertise on, and you can even set the minimum price that you want to advertise on. And you can even do both. Amazon will show you how many targets estimated they can advertise you on based on this criteria. So if I said a minimum price of $30 and a maximum star rating of 4, that puts me in this category where I have 350 to 580 targets that are possible. Then when you analyze the performance of the ASINs Amazon advertises you on, you can then add them as exact ASIN targets in your ASIN targeting campaign. Another way to find good product targets is just by using a research tool like Helium 10 to find targets based on your own filtered criteria. Now, what bidding strategy do you use for your product targeting campaigns? Well, we've actually found a lot of times fixed bids allows you to force your way in there, especially on competitive product targets that you know are getting a lot of different bids from a lot of different competitors trying to get on those slots. So how do you choose the bid when you select fixed bids? Well, you can start by selecting a bid that's around the average of your CPCs, or that's around where your winning product targets are already at from a CPC perspective. And what this does is it just helps force your way onto the listing. But the only way to truly know is to test. I would test fixed bids, I would test up and down, and I would test down only. we tend to have the most success with fixed bids and with up and down. Now, product targeting, along with category targeting, are targeting types that are available in all three ad types, not just sponsored products and sponsored brands like keyword targeting is. So if I go into sponsored brands, you first of all have to make sure that you select drive page visits, not grow impression share. Otherwise, you won't see the product targeting option. So select drive page visits, and say you're running a video ad and you want your video ad to show up on particular competitors' ASINs. You just go down to product targeting, and then it's the exact same process as it was in sponsored products. Click individual products, enter list, and you can enter the list there. If you didn't do the research or you don't know who to target, you can look through some of Amazon's suggested targets, but I recommend you do your own research from your other category targeting campaigns and your other campaigns in general, plus your own research by using a tool like Helium 10 or just scanning Amazon yourself. To get to it in sponsored display, you'll see a similar format. Once you scroll down and select one of the products to advertise, and then go to targeting, you're gonna select contextual, and here's where you'll see the product targeting section for sponsored display. And similarly to the other two ad types, you could just enter the list of ASINs that you want to target. By the way, in case you don't know this, you could find the ASIN of any product listing just by looking in the URL after these letters DP. The ASIN is always going to be right here. You can also find it on the listing itself if you go to the product information, and you can see the ASIN right here. So once you collect your list of ASINs, you're going to pop them in here, click create campaign, and you're off to the races. Now there's a lot of nuance to this, so let's take a look at some real world product targeting campaigns that we have live right now. So here's one of our fast growing brands. It's very profitable as well, and you can see I've ordered the campaigns in the last 30 days by sales. And our third best selling campaign with a really healthy ACoS is a product targeting campaign. However, this is a product targeting campaign that we call a defense campaign. And this is one of the most important product targeting campaign types that you can do, where you target your own other ASINs. So you target the other products in your catalog to keep other competitors from advertising on your ASIN. Now, a lot of people are gonna whine about, oh, is this cannibalizing my own sales that people would have bought anyway? No, don't worry about that. There might be some sales that you get that you would have gotten anyway, but the benefit that you get from advertising your own products on all your other products is many times greater than the potential loss of having to pay for a click that you would have gotten organically. Plus, you're keeping other competitors from taking those spots, which we would pay for anyway if we were getting no sales, right? Like if I could tell you, oh, you could pay some small amount and it'll keep any competitors from advertising on your listing, you'd be like, heck yeah, do it. Even though the ACoS would technically be infinite because you wouldn't be getting sales from it, right? So that's kind of an unseen benefit from product targeting defense campaigns, or what we call shielding. But let's scroll down to some of our other top performing campaigns, and we will see product targeting with competitor ASINs, product targeting with lower rated ASINs, and you can see these are also getting really good ACoS even though they're not defense campaigns. You can see some of the other campaigns around this level of revenue are getting a higher ACoS compared to the two product targeting campaigns around the same level of revenue. And this isn't always going to happen, but we have a lot of accounts where we see this as a pattern across the accounts. Product targeting is becoming a more and more powerful strategy. It used to be a small portion of the overall Amazon ad strategy. It's becoming a bigger and bigger portion of overall sales and overall strategy. So in this case, we're targeting a particular competitor. So let's click into the ad group so that we could see the targeting here. We're going to click targeting, and now we're going to see what we put in as the targets. So these targets are all ASINs in one brand, and this is a brand that we just found it's very profitable to advertise on. By the way, people are doing this to you, which is why brand defense campaigns with product targeting are so important, because this brand, we're basically sniping their sales. We're saying, always advertise our products on all of this brand's products because we tend to convert better than them. So we're kind of sniping our sales from them. We're like siphoning away their sales. And people are doing this to you if you're not doing defense campaigns. So again, this is why it's really important to do brand defense campaigns, but you also want to do offensive product targeting campaigns like we do here, especially when you find a target or you find a brand that it's really profitable to advertise on. And look, I'm as abundance minded as the next entrepreneur. My Instagram handle is literally hippie mogul. I'm super communal focused, abundance focused, but when it comes to the Amazon marketplace, it is a dog eat dog marketplace. You need to be aggressive. And you also need to defend properly. And this is where product targeting comes into play heavily. Once we find a brand or product that it's really profitable to advertise on, many times we will go all in on that with product targeting ads in sponsored products, sponsored brands, and sponsored display, because we know that we just have a better offer than them. And this is where you want to get, or you've identified product targets that you know work really well, and you just keep doing more of what works. You go in harder and harder and harder on what you know is working well. So for this campaign, we had 6 targets, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Let's take a look at the search term section where we see where we were actually advertised. Now, if I order this by spend, so I can see where most of my spend is going, you'll see a majority of the spend is going towards one particular target out of the 6, but we also see our ad showing up for keywords in search results. Now, why is that? Well, Amazon made the choice a long time ago that whether you do a keyword target or a product target, it has the ability to advertise you on both keywords and products. It's kind of weird. It doesn't make sense when you first think about it, but actually sometimes the keyword placements that you get from your product targeting campaigns can perform really well. So if I scroll over to the ACoS, you can see I'm getting a 19.8% ACoS for this particular target that our product is being advertised on. I'm getting a 4.8% ACoS on this other target that our product is being advertised on. And I'm getting a 2.3% ACoS on this search term that Amazon determined was related to the product targets that we put in the exact box when we were setting up this campaign. Now, it's not a crazy amount of sales, but still 2.3% ACoS, I'll take it. This next one had a 5.1% ACoS, and it was only one sale, of course, but this was also on a keyword search term, not on one of the product targets, even though we set the setting to exact, not expanded. So no matter how you set up your campaigns, Amazon can show you for both keyword targets and product targets. The only exception to this is sponsored display, where a vast majority of the ads shown are on listings, so you're really not going to get much search. It's all going to happen on the listings. We actually have some products and even product launches where product targeting is a vast majority of our ad spend because of how well it's performing now, and I'm going to show you some of those campaigns. But first, hydration time. And some for the plants. Let's take a look at one of our beauty brands. This brand's been growing exponentially over the past couple months, and product targeting is one of the main campaign types that's working really well for us. You can see the second best performing campaign here is a product targeting ad, and it's beating, if measured by ACoS, the first best performing campaign. And this particular campaign is a product targeting campaign in sponsored brands with a video. So let's take a look at the targeting. So this particular campaign is targeting just one single ASIN, and this is one of our competitors' ASINs that we found is doing really well. So where this ad is showing is it's showing this video ad both on the product listing itself and on search results when people are searching terms that end up getting them on the listing that we're targeting. So looking down our campaigns, the second best performing campaign is a product targeting campaign, the third best performing campaign is a product targeting campaign, and the fifth best performing campaign is a product targeting campaign. And all of them have a very acceptable ACoS, especially in a category like beauty, where the ACoS tends to be really high, the cost per click tends to be really high. The first one is a sponsored brand video product targeting campaign. That's the one we just looked at. The next one is a sponsored product targeting campaign. Then the last one is another sponsored product targeting campaign with a top of search bid adjuster. So what's this secret product targeting campaign that exploits like a glitch in Amazon? Well, to understand it, I'm going to walk you through how to create it. So you click sponsor products, create campaign. Then you're going to select the product that you want to advertise. And then what you're going to do is copy the ASIN from the same ASIN that you're advertising. And then you're going to go down, select product targeting, go to individual products, enter list, and you're going to copy in the same ASIN that you're advertising and click exact targeting. Now, this is a really interesting strategy. I actually have a whole video on my channel about how we came up with this strategy. This can produce super low ACoS sales. Now, it produces sales at a very low volume, but they can be very low ACoS, very lean sales. We've had campaigns that produce 5% ACoS sales, tens of thousands over the course of a year, 5% ACoS sales, 12% ACoS sales, 8% ACoS sales. We've done this over and over again. A lot of times it works, sometimes it doesn't. The only way to really know is to test it out. So how this works is, say this is the ASIN that I'm advertising and I put in this very same ASIN as my target, which is what this campaign is. It's actually not going to show the ad on this same listing. What it's going to do is once people visit this listing, it'll show the ad after that in search results and other listings. And that is the key. So it's kind of like instant retargeting, which is why the ACoS tends to be super low. So this is a cool little hack. If you want to learn more about this, just check out the YouTube video on my channel. I think it's the first video I ever uploaded, actually. So if you just go to the first video ever, you'll see it. And I'll link to it at the end of this video. So that's product targeting on Amazon ads and how to do it right. Now, if you want to explore partnering with me to take over your Amazon ads to grow your brand profitably, there's a link in the description of this video where you can do that. I also have the most well-attended Amazon PPC training in the world. We only do it twice a year. It's happening pretty soon. There's a link in the description for that as well. And if you want to check out that video that I mentioned that goes deeper into these step campaigns, the self-targeted product placement campaigns, you can check out that video right here. See you guys next time.